Okay, on this video we'd just like to show you how to install our engineered hybrid click system. So we've laid two boards, assuming that this is our first row, and now we've gone into our second row, and this is where things get a little bit tricky, where some people don't quite understand how it clicks in on both ends at the same time. So clicking in from end to end of the board is quite easy. It's a 30-degree angle. As we see right here, it's a 30-degree angle roughly. So the tongue into the groove, gently dropping down so that the board is seamless. However, how do we get the tongue onto this side clicked in? So now I'm going to show you quite a simple way, an easy way to do that. So I'll remove this board, lift it back up to take it out. So you want to concentrate on both ends of the tongue. You want to make sure that clicks in entirely into the tongue of the board, and the groove of the board, and this side of the tongue to partially sit in the groove. It's probably the best way to explain it. So I'll come in as close as I can. So I'll go in all the way here and go as close as I can to sit into the groove here, as I've done. And now the board in its entirety has this tongue appearing, sitting on the edge of the groove all the way. Okay, and now, just with our hand force, we're going to lift up the plank and we're going to bring it towards us, like this, all the way down. Make sure that it's all sitting nicely, and the board will just sit down. There we go, clicked in. So you can see all the way I've managed to get the tongue into the groove, all the way to the end of the board. The board is sitting flat on the concrete, where if it was sticking up, it meant that somewhere here it hasn't entirely clicked in. And just keep in mind, sometimes when you do this, that this side can sometimes come out as well. So keeping an eye on that, ensuring that you push it in, click it in, and even this side, make sure that's also in, and just bringing the board towards you, like so. Another technique, there are several techniques to this. This is probably the least physical way to do it without causing any damage to the product, but sometimes they have little hooks they put over the product, and they have it in the right position, as I showed you with the tongue sitting just on top of the groove, and they just tap it in. Also, you can use small pieces of offcuts if you have them lying around, and having them just sit up on top of the groove, not on the groove, but sitting right on top of the groove against the edge of the veneer. You can have the offcut just on the corner there, have it in position, and not rather than trying to push it or pull it into yourself, towards yourself to click it in, you can just give it a slight tap, which will be able to get that in there. So long as you don't damage the groove, there's really no perfect way to do it, but once you do it this way a few times, you'll get the hang of it. And if you see that you have any gaps, bigger gaps in certain areas of the boards, that will be a sign of somewhere it hasn't clicked in perfectly. So keep an eye on this every row to ensure that you've got a pretty tight finish everywhere. And another sign is, like I said, sometimes if the board is sticking up a little bit too high, it means it hasn't entirely clicked in. So keep an eye on that as well.